By the way, yeah, I know you if you're out there, Mr. Paycheck to Paycheck. I know what kind of fucking people I have, and I know, clean all the paper off your goddamn kitchen table. There's 15 layers of it. Taxes are due the 15th. I don't know when you did them or when you think that late. Get all the goddamn papers off your fucking table, all right? Clean up some of them. The third layer down, you and I both know is from 2021. Get rid of it. You're never answering that one letter. The invitation was for a wedding that was 3 fucking years ago, and for some reason you have a stack of fucking empty envelopes. I don't know why you think you're gonna put anything back in them. You know you're not. Just throw them away or recycle them. Called out. JT Chapman is a guy on the internet. JT Chapman, also known by his pseudo monikers Second or First Thought, there's also the other channel names of his brand, is a left-wing commentator and polemic on YouTube.com. I think he maybe is some other places. He's generally what we refer to as a video essayist. Definitely of the brand of mid-late 2000s lifestyle essayists is how I could best describe him. He is the kind of guy that makes videos that are him talking over B-roll footage. Either shot by him or shot in more than a lot of cases on his political channel, especially by other people, and uploaded to places where you can purchase or lease B-roll, license B-roll. Jesus Christ, there we go. Second Thought really came across my radar as Second Thought recently because he gives fuck awful takes on leftism. If I had to boil down he gets most of his prescriptions and understanding of leftist talking points of the world and of politics in general from getting on Tumblr message boards that are linked from Twitter comments. So I think that's his 2 degrees of separation, where notable centrist thought leader Destiny gets their stuff by going to Wikipedia and then double checking the Wikipedia back page. Shout out, very good technique. Second Thought goes to Twitter, and then from Twitter double checks his information with Tumblr, and from there creates some of the most profoundly dog shit takes, but probably very addictive to people with underdeveloped prefrontal cortexes that I've ever seen. He's insanely stupid with his understanding of the world in general. Probably he's got some videos that you have watched and that you have understood and that you have liked, and maybe that they were pretty much correct, but just in a general sense, his presentation, his demeanor, and his ability to understand, parse, boil down, and then share facts with some sort of fundamental basis of research behind them, almost non-existent. This is kind of exacerbated, the negativity is kind of exacerbated by the fact that his presentation is a little blitzed up and has a sense of authoritativeness behind it that really belies the lack of understanding and intellectual rigor that goes into his thoughts in a general sense. So I think he's unironically dangerous. He also stumps for terrorism. He is a terrorist or a pro-terror sympathizer in no small context. He does think that it's okay to just attack Jewish people or at least just attack Israelis in a general sense for the crimes of Israel, combatant or no, which is something I not only disagree with, I find pretty reprehensible as a talking point or as a comment that anyone could even make in the first place. So he's not doing great, or so he says. I think it's kind of funny that it's almost like begging. It's e-beggar season. Just a week or so ago, we had Shadiversity doing my channel is dying, sad face, can you give me some money? And then this year, Second Thought is apparently doing it again. Now, apparently, Shadiversity has been making this an annual thing of being like, my channel is dying. And I don't know if there's some sort of book of plays that you make as a larger YouTuber with bad content, and that's kind of the aspect of it, is the please save my channel. by donating a bunch of money to me because I don't know, I need a new in-ground pool or anything. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna watch his little video that he made and probably make fun of it. Probably make fun of it a little bit.
Recently, I know a lot of you probably have no idea. I've been having a bit of a
So this is more and more. I'm wondering if this is like an algorithm thing of starting off yourself just talking in the first quarter second of a video and not having any breathing space. I feel like this is YouTube. I now believe that this is YouTube hucksterism, as espoused by. Come here, light. Right in my face. Jesus Christ. This is YouTube hucksterism as espoused by Shadiversity and guys like Second Thought who literally sells courses on YouTube hucksterism. Putting their talking right at the very beginning, I think, is like one of those attention getter things, because I know that they're always hyper fixated. Shadiversity specifically was hyper fixated on his click throughs and his like first 30-second stuff. I feel like it's just outdated information for algo juicers, which these guys are. I can't do it. The only algo juicing I can permit myself to do is just being like a little inflammatory, but I cannot permit myself to put out bad content. It will put me into a fucking spiritual down. I'll be done. I'll turn into dust if I start doing it. Well, we're gonna hop into it. Tyler, what's going on? Who is Second Thought? I already explained that. Don't be boring. It's not hard to have a personality.
I've been having a bit of a challenging time
this
recently.
Is my YouTube.
I know a lot of you probably have no idea about my other channels and the big changes I've made over the last few months, and I won't bore you with the details. But long story short, my whole operation is in the red. We're bleeding money.
So his audio is not that great. I'm not saying mine's perfect, but I am live right now. You guys, I think I've shown you guys the difference between my, and you should be able to hear it right here. It might not be perfect because I'm playing it through something that's playing through something else, but if let me just show you, when you do direct recording audio into this is because it's all connected to the OBS system, all right? When I talk into a microphone into my digital audio workstation and fix it up, it sounds a little bit better. So it should sound more like this. So this is just from the audiobook. Just do a random chapter. I stand by this mixing. Recoiled like she'd burned him with a curling iron. What I need is for you people to find some other place to eat. So like you can hear like the voice. That's like way too emotional of a part to stop in. Ben, Daniels, and Collard. Adelaide said, "Oh, I know. But I asked, who do you think?" So like the mixing is like way better. And my old recording space was dog shit. It was ass. This one's even better. And so if I mixed up my stuff more, it would sound even better here. And he is shooting in the most controlled possible environment. I didn't have any choice. I just had the one room that I could record in at my old house. And I had shit all over the walls to try to mitigate the fucking reflection. But the ceilings were fucking 10 feet tall. So like I literally couldn't do it. It's not an exaggeration. They're specifically 10 feet tall. But like, this is an office, I found out. This isn't even at his house. So he has an independent office somewhere with like drop ceilings and everything. So this is a completely controlled environment. And his audio is just not as good as it should be for somebody that's getting this kind of views and spending this much on equipment. That's the biggest thing. Like, he's not a guy, this is not a fucking webcam. I'm shooting off of a Logitech right here. Like, this same webcam that I'm using, I saw at the VA the other day, because it's the same webcam they used to take VA, Veterans Affairs, hospital IDs photos. Like, I was like, oh, I thought I had spent a lot of money on my webcam, what with it being a whole like $100 or so, and then I found out the VA uses the same one to take your shitty like DMV style photograph for your identification card. So
business people like myself, that means more money is leaving the business than is coming in, and that's not great.
Oh,
speaking of money, before I get to the rest of the video, let me quickly thank this week's sponsor, Audio. One of the most common questions I get asked is, where do I find
Bro, talking about you don't have any money and then going right to a sponsor is fucking fire.
Music to use in my videos? There are a number of options out there, but
My option is I make it myself and it sounds better than anything you're gonna hear in this video.
the one I've been using for a while now, and the one that I feel is the best bang for your buck, is audio. There are a couple things that set them apart. For one, the price.
Bro, you cannot advertise a company and then show me a literal Squarespace site, because this is just I can see a Squarespace site. I do my own Foley. Have I ever shown you guys how big my Foley folder is? I've recorded all of these. I think bar none. Hold on. Oh, I haven't even shown you guys the video. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. I completely forgot to show you guys the video. It's so cool though. Let me pop in here real quick. Foley. Okay, I can just click it. So this is how big my Foley folder is, right? I don't think there's anything I can show you that's crazy in here. This is randoms. So this is like where the samples go when they come in. This is how many sound effects I have. I've done all of these, right? Some of these I've just made. So like this is how deep these things get in. I'm very proud of this folder. So like this is just all doors that I've recorded. This is all me. I recorded all of these. I'm extremely fucking proud. Extremely fucking proud of my Foley folder. I own all of it. I literally recorded all of it. I mastered all of it. It's fucking great. Well, I wanted to show you something. Oh, no, it's on my... my painstakingly recorded Foley. Oh no! Oh, stop looking at it! Stop looking at it! Oh no! Oh no! I'm glad you guys can hear these. Pretty good, right? Crazy door file. Cut the stream. What, do I have to delay it? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Look at the rabbit looking at me like, bro, you gonna be okay, buddy? Love you. Love you so much, little sweet cheek. Dude, he's just standing tall. Disney now owns the rights to doors. I can't fucking, dude. Oh my god.
A cheat code for making the viewer feel a certain way. They're the key to pacing, feel, and emotional impact. If you're not sold already, audio also...
The Virgin Taxes folder versus the Chad Sounds I Made folder.
In our modern society, it's second nature to equate our financial stability with success or failure. If you're earning more money than you did last year, you're winning. You're a successful person. If you're making less, or you lost your job, or your business is just kind of...
He got a lot of mileage out of that picture of the back of his camera, I swear to God.
Of treading water.
The funniest part about it is, and I hate it when it do... there's always skits I want to do where I'm holding a phone, but I would have to go borrow my wife's phone to film it, or film me holding her phone. Because if you see him filming a camera, he's probably using his better camera to film the less good camera. Because one of them has the shot you're going to use in it. So are you going to do the flex shot where you video the better camera? Or are you going to do the less good shot where you, it doesn't look as nice because it's not the nicer camera, but it's the better shot.
You're losing.
Just having two high quality cameras like that is just such an incidental flex when you're asking for money. It's just funny as fuck to me.
You're a failure.
Also, shout out having a bookshelf that has 3 books on it.
Just about anyone who works a creative job will tell you that the calculus has to be a little different than with a traditional 9-to-5. Most creative work is piecemeal. You're a contractor or freelancer. There aren't many companies hiring full-time graphic designers or voice actors. But despite the fact that we all understand this, it's still really hard not to feel like a failure when things aren't going your way.
I just can't believe you showed up looking like it's your first, like your 4th day of school in this shot. It's crazy. Also, if you're recording here, I don't know, just all of these recording surfaces just seem not conducive. I don't like this. I don't like any of this. This is a weird shot.
I'm guilty of this myself.
Also, you're color grading yourself so blue. I can see. You're not getting away with it. It's fucking just like he's just trying to tone match and make everything blue by adding like a bunch. This is just the most Da Vinci I've ever seen. Something like, it's fine because you have to do it, but it's also such an uninspired shot. Like, you have a fucking umbrella right here. Literally just turn the umbrella up and stop showing off the rest of your area and let it illuminate you in a fully exposed shot, and stop trying to get by on your fucking day for night fucking indigo fucking filter ass shit. Like, you don't need to shoot this through a fucking like a 3% gel. Fucking goof ass.
Time of writing, I just finished looking at the finances with Kelsey, and I immediately started spiraling. I can't keep doing this. How can I possibly solve these problems?
Shout out, I know that you framed this yourself by sitting here looking at the monitor and then turning to look at it, because when you thought you would have a more distinct profile, which would have been good. You know what I'm saying? But then you didn't realize how fucking far you had to turn over to get this. You really should have tried to block it out. If you would have tried to like, if you want to try to block one of these out when you're sitting by yourself, right? Put your foot down and just make sure that your chin's in line with your foot, and then just tell yourself in the camera that I'm at position A, B, C, D, and move 5 degrees to 10 degrees, whatever, every time. And then you can always make sure that you hit your same block. You just tape the floor. If you just tape the floor, you're good, because this is just not that great. You need a little bit more heat. You need a little bit more heat here, or a whole lot less. Where you like you're just eating this, because we have all of this white here, and then we have no background, and you're not using a real hair light. So like you're not pulling off any sort of silhouette. It's just like the actual basic head shape. And if you're not looking on a particularly good monitor, you're really going to lose yourself here. This is the kind of like attention to light that that one guy who directed the worst episodes of Game of Thrones has.
I'm a failure. Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was an average...
Dude, you ever seen somebody just sit around dreaming that they could be Anthony Fantano, like they're in a fucking old Jack Black film? That's what this vibe is.
Person. They did everything right.
Jack Black's, one day, I believe you'll be just like Anthony Fantano. Do you really think so?
And nothing bad ever happened. The end. That's
course.
Not a very compelling story. Throughout all of human history, the one thing that literally everyone has experienced...
I hate this B-roll shit.
But besides that, the other thing we've all experienced is failure.
Hey, yo! Skies out, thighs out, baby. My man said I know who I'm taking these shots for, baby. He looks like a Lin-Manuel Miranda impersonator. God damn.
Mistake, something not going our way, a business going under, a relationship falling apart. The scale of these failures might...
I just don't understand his choices. He's got so much lighting equipment and so many... He's got monitors. Like, so once you have monitors, it's kind of like... It's almost not... You don't almost have an excuse to not shoot correctly. I don't have anything to monitor my shots with. You know, like, I've got a good camera, but I don't have a monitor on it. I have like a Canon 7D that I can flip the one screen around a little bit, and that's a 10-year-old fucking camera from back when I was still working with cameras every day. Like, why is this just so
vary from person to person, but every single human being on Earth has experienced a failure of some kind. Now, this isn't me saying everybody fails at something, get over it. This is me trying to offer a little perspective for when you're...
This is all the B-roll footage is doing exactly what I said, and it's doing it better. Do you see how this orange light that they have? This is just the gel. Like, this, the natural light's over here on this wall. Right down here somewhere is a bright ass orange light shining up on this dude's face, and it's highlighting this little very faint silhouette on his neck. It's like
feeling down. It's the same perspective I try to keep in mind when I start to feel like I'm a loser, or that my work doesn't matter, or that I'm not good enough. What makes our lives...
Bro, you know what? I'm fucking gonna go to the fucking gas station.
Our story worth living is overcoming these failures. And that doesn't always have to look like a glorious triumph over adversity. It could just mean accepting that a project didn't work out and moving on to the next thing. But that moving on part is key. Wallowing never solved anything. It doesn't even help us feel better about the thing we're wallowing over. Allowing a short period to feel sorry for yourself...
Having all of that equipment and using this much B footage is psychotic. Like, it is madness.
Or stress about some perceived failure is fine, even healthy. But what you do next is what counts. Take me, for example. I run this channel, Second Thought, First Thought, and the Deprogram. I write all my scripts.
Because some of that B-roll, I know you're not shooting that. I know you have a good camera, but some of that B-roll is clearly shot with something like a red. Because there's just like a really, really intensity. There's a really deep intensity to what the fucking like the subtlety of the of the colors that are being captured. It's like this is definitely like some real full frame bullshit going on right now. Like real high density shots, really well lit too. You can start seeing people's signatures once you've seen a little bit of how they work, and you're like, okay, so I know when I'm dipping in and out of Second Thought shit, because Second Thought, unless he's somehow really, really good and also dog shit, because it's still fucking boring, but like all the B-roll is just shot way better than fucking all the stuff he's taking videos of himself. I don't know if maybe he's trying to make himself look like an asshole, I don't know, but like, goddamn, that's funny.
Scripts. I do all the on-camera stuff for 3 channels. I coordinate with sponsors for First Thought. I edit every episode of the Deprogram. I do live Q&As on the Second Thought Discord. I maintain 4 Patreon accounts, manage perks, and handle problems for hundreds of patrons. I offer video consulting services on the side, and still, with all that work, my business is losing money. That feels like a punch in the gut because
Dude, because like, what the fuck is all this extra shit you got going on? I'm just in an old garage in our new house. I ain't got no hexagons on my wall. These shelves are probably one of the most expensive things in here that's not my equipment, and they're fucking cheap ass fucking IKEA shelves. That the only reason I have them in here is because they don't fit in the other room.
I can't fit a single additional piece of work on my plate. I'm at my capacity, and this is on top of trying to be a good husband and father. It's exhausting, and sometimes, like right now with
Hey, can you move the baby out of here? I gotta collect some books.
how the money is trending, it's scary. When you're confronted with a reality like this, it's so easy to tie your sense of self-worth to the
It's called acting, darling.
success of your projects. This is a societal problem, the whole Protestant work ethic thing. If you're struggling financially, it's because of some moral shortcoming. That's deeply ingrained in Western culture, and it's incredibly unhealthy.
No, you know, like that's such a cheap fucking shot to make. You know, the Protestant work culture, that whole thing, that's something to talk about, but that's for fucking that's for working Joes. You know, that's for your when you're old, all right? You're not even allowed to bring it up when you're in your 20s. It's like a real problem that's fucking ruining your life, because you haven't even got the Protestant work ethic. The Americans have to overwork themselves to feel like good. That can happen to everybody, but you can't really be sure it's happening to you until you're doing a job you hate for reasons you don't understand. Like, that's what that is. That's what that vibe is. That the whole like, oh man, America's work ethic is trying to grind me into dust. Bro, that's not even for me. I work too hard at this thing. You know what I mean? I've got all the same shit. I'm not making as much money as you are. I'm kind of coasting in. I also don't spend crazy amounts of money on gear. I buy like one thing when I need it, and I don't fucking upgrade from then until I can't. Like, when I got myself a keyboard, it was a splurge, and I bought a used one, a used Arturia for like $100, and I was still like, my wife was like, I don't know if you really need that, and I'm like, I don't know if I do either, and I feel bad about it. I still haven't gotten to use it. It's driving me fucking insane. It's why I brought it up. I want to play it so bad, but we're moving. I bought it right before we moved, because it was on sale for like Black Friday. Normally, it's actually kind of expensive, but like if I'm like, I gotta buy it while it's on sale, because I will use it, because I want to use it. But I don't have like, the table that I'm going to put it on is covered in shit from the other parts of our house that we're fixing. Ah! Well, like, my man's got so much fucking equipment. Like, this mic right here constitutes the entirety of my fucking audio setup. I think it's the same kind of, it looks like a Rode. I think I've seen it without its cap on. But I mean, you can see, very, very similar. He doesn't use his with this. He doesn't have a carriage on his, which is kind of strange, because I've got this. I've got a hand carriage, but like this arm was like $125, but I paid for it in 2016, and I have maintained the motherfucker, so I don't have to buy a new one. You know what I mean? I ain't got two. I have umbrellas. I'm actually gonna start using again soon, but I bought the cheapest ones you can get, because guy that when I was starting off photography, he's like, don't ever buy expensive umbrellas. It's a fucking umbrella. This is a really nice umbrella.
It also doesn't really apply to 21st century life. I know plenty of people who work even harder than I do who are in a far more precarious position than I am. That's just the nature of work these days. It's really hard to make a living, even if you've got the best work ethic in the world. So back to that story I told you. The one where nothing bad happened and the hero just coasted through life. This may just be me, but that sounds like...
unironically, like, why do you have all the equipment if you just shoot so much fucking, like, senseless, disconnected B-roll? Like, what the fuck is the literal point of it? Why? Why do you have a subscription to... You have microphones. Why do you have a subscription to a Foley site? What the fuck Foley are you using? Is it just for this terrible music? You can make this like 10 seconds. Just download Fruity Loops and make it yourself. Do it yourself! You're fucking poor. How fucking freaked out I am right now that I didn't have the ability to do 16 guys worth of work that they did on my house today. Because I'm like, oh fuck, I had to spend money on anything. I'm like losing my fucking mind. I'm gonna be freaked out about it for months. I didn't spend $400 on an emergency plumber on a Friday night. I crawled under my house and I stuck my fucking arm down a shit pipe and ran a fucking snake in that with a goddamn drill for fully an hour until it cleaned up the fucking clog and I could flush the toilet a little bit. This motherfucker can't save a dime to save his life. What the fuck? How much did this cost? You know how much licensing fees for these fucking things are? I bet he's paying for Adobe products. I can only edit in Premiere Pro. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I got fucking DaVinci. You know why? DaVinci's free. Free. I got the fuck. Also, it's better because you can fucking use MKV in it. OBS is free. Free. God bless you. It's fucking true socialism. All right, the people are fucking helping us. I use Wikipedia for research. You know why? It's free. Oh my god.
Like a pretty dull life.
He shoots
without challenge.
I don't think he's shooting any of this. None of this has the hallmarks of the shots that I saw from him. Maybe he is. But like, first off, if he is shooting this B-roll is super expensive. You know how much it costs to fucking hire 2 actors and then film them boxing? You're gonna have to rent this space or borrow it or beg, buy, or borrow this space. Get 2 guys that actually look good boxing, set it up, organize with them, light it, and then shoot it for like 2 seconds.
Without adversity, how do we know what we're capable of?
So like, yeah, like all of these actors, this is the good thing about B-roll is you can throw together these fucking like, this is like a fucking pharmacy commercial. You know what I mean? Like butt drugs. Butt drugs. That's a real, look up butt drugs. It's a real place, or it was. It's shut down. It's very sad. But like, this is highly expensive to shoot, but you don't have to shoot this specific. So I just know that he's not shooting this, or if he is, he's using like secondary B-roll from other shots, which is maybe from his work. So he should be saving a lot of money. But like, also none of this is necessary, and it doesn't really articulate the points that well. It's kind of just like this brainless, like, okay, I had a thought, and for 2 seconds there's nothing on screen. I have to jam in something. I have to jam in literally fucking anything to articulate my point, because more than likely I'm boring as fuck. Like, my viewership goes down the second I'm not ADDing people with fucking old men hugging.
All the best stories follow characters who are in way over their heads. The problems they face drive the story forward, and we watch them learn and grow and become better each time they overcome a setback or a challenge or a failure.
How do you know that fucking guy in the wheelchair is overcoming shit? All right, that he might just be going to the gym like a normal Joe. Just because he's in a fucking wheelchair doesn't mean his life's a struggle. All right, it's ableist. Dunked on.
These stories are compelling to us because we can
also, don't show a guy fucking using a wheelchair and then show a lady walking up a hill. It's kind of fun. It's kind of a fucking microaggression, isn't it?
Relate to them. There's nothing exciting or fulfilling about a life of extreme leisure and stability, free of challenge.
You know how you fucking overcome the struggles of being in a wheelchair? Fucking learn how to walk, loser. Fucking hey, second time. The first time was you taking an L for being a fucking handicapped person. Get dunked on.
Challenges and obstacles. Why even exist at that point? Of course, that's not to fetishize a life of overwhelming precarity either. The extremes of stable luxury and constant hardship are both damaging to what it means to be human. Someone who's...
What do you mean constant fucking hardship? That's just a white actor in there with her fucking child next to a fucking bottled water stand. This B footage, the more you look at it, the stupider it is. This is the kind of people that love using videos that is packed full of shit like this is why they want AI. Because it's the same brainless shit, but now they're just cutting one other job out, which is the guy that's fucking filming this stuff.
Never faced a problem, has never had the opportunity to grow, to learn, to be introspective about what happened and why. Someone who's constantly having to worry about where their next meal is going to come from won't have the opportunity to let their guard down, process their trauma, and feel proud of how much they've managed to overcome.
But why are these people doing bad? This is fucking... What about this screams paycheck to paycheck? I'll tell you what, I've been in a lot of poor houses. Ain't none of them got fucking fruit on the table like this. If this is when it's a paycheck to paycheck house, I'll tell you this if you don't know, if you've never been in one. If it's a paycheck to paycheck house, first off, these two aren't hanging out. This motherfucker is in his room. This table right here is covered in papers. Covered. By the way, yeah, I know you if you're out there, Mr. Paycheck to Paycheck. I know what kind of fucking people I have, and I know, clean your all the paper off your goddamn kitchen table. There's 15 layers of it. Taxes are due the 15th. I don't know when you did them or when you think that late fucking... Get all the goddamn papers off your fucking table, all right? Clean up some of them. The third layer down, you and I both know is from 2021. Get rid of it. You're never answering that one letter. The invitation was for a wedding that was 3 fucking years ago. And for some reason, you have a stack of fucking empty envelopes. I don't know why you think you're going to put anything back in them. You know you're not. Just throw them away or recycle them. Called out. Fucking place would be dirty as shit.
But for most of us, we're somewhere in the middle.
Leave me alone.
We have a fridge and a TV, but we also have bills and a job that's probably not as secure as we'd like.
Thoughts on second thought, incompetent grifter, 50-50. They're doing bad because the light is moody, Tyler. Obviously, duh. How fucking obliterate. How shout out to people. Shout out to people in my audience who said, "What do you mean? I can't even afford the table." Talking shit about the fucking the paper covered table and seeing you guys just obliterate the chat for a second is the highlight of my fucking day.
That's especially true of creative types who have to rely on unpredictable demand for our services and skills. When we have a bad month or our business starts to slump, that's when we have a choice. We can give in to those negative thoughts. We can shut out the world and just stew in our self-pity and worry.
I'm
Or
gonna sit at my giant table with my tiny empty notebook and just rip pieces of paper out of it and throw it. Why did he even try to put anything in here? Why did he film a fucking thing about himself? If you stop any individual scene, there's no fucking sense of mise-en-scène. I don't know why he thinks this is balanced. It's the golden ratio of shit. Like, he's just over here. The ratio's over here. It's over here. All of our thirds are empty. It's not symmetrical. It's not even fucking... He didn't want... I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. There's a fucking... That couch you were sitting on is behind me in this shot. Second thought, if you're ever watching this, I can see inside your fucking soul. I can see inside of you. You can't escape from me. That couch is behind you, and there's a fucking ottoman or a goddamn coffee table probably in between this desk and that couch, and you didn't want to move it. So you set the camera where it could be in focus with the lens that you like, where it could be in focus and in shot with the lens that you like, and you're a little scrub right at a fucking 50. You won't use anything but your fucking 50 millimeter, and you're sitting on your 50, and you didn't want to move it any closer, and there's something in the way, so you stuck it where you thought it would work, and you didn't want to move it around, and you set it down and hit play. Tell me if I'm fucking wrong or not. I'm fucking inside your soul, I guarantee you. But it's just nothing, and he's sitting down here at this big, broad, empty table, plain curtains, plain wall, just like his glow over here on this dark monitor, and it's just him, not fully lit. Like our histogram, like, do you look at your histogram when you shoot? Is it just, does every single one of them look like a fucking, like a fucking Pythagorean triangle, a right angle in the fucking side because you have no balance in the light? Shout out this thing for giving the one little tick on the right side of the fucking histogram. You guys don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Trust me. Anybody that does videography, I am fucking insulting the shit out of him. You might not understand what I'm saying. I am being unfathomably mean right now. He's sitting at a big fucking empty table with, somehow he's just the most beige person of all time. Like, there's just all neutral tones all through here. And then he's got a fucking clearly empty notebook, which is awesome. He couldn't just sit down for a second and actually write into the notebook. So if you sit down, you look at him and just imagine for a second, like, he has been hard at work. He is putting his thoughts down. No, I'm sorry. The notebook is fucking empty. I can see into it. He just brought it there so he could rip pieces out of his tiny empty notebook and throw them in the trash. Oh,
we can continue to do the best we can, knowing that sometimes things just don't work out. Maybe there's no salvaging this particular chapter in your story. But you're still alive. You're still living that story. What happens in the next chapter is up to you. It may not be what you expected. It may be absolutely miserable for a while. But
every time I see the camera moving while he's in there, that means I know that there's another person that's guiding the shots. And every time that second person is there, the fucking lighting is better. So shout out. Second thought, I'll tell you what, if the one cost that you're trying to cut is whoever is in that room making the fucking lighting not suck, please go to him. I don't care if you're trying to tell me it's a mood thing. Now there's hope and there's more light. No, that's not how it fucking works. Turn the goddamn lights up brighter. Fucking goddamn cinema verite carrying the fucking iPhone around.
But it will also reveal things about yourself that you may not have realized, or that you were able to ignore when times were good. For me,
why do you have so many fucking lights and light boxes? It is insane to me. He's got, dude, all I have is this. Look how my lighting's not bad. It's not professional grade. But I just put fucking daylight lamps in my fucking ceiling fans. That's just the sun. And then I have this. I have this. This fucking, literally. I think I spent maybe a work light, a red $20 work light that couldn't even attach to anything from Lowe's, and I was lighting stuff with that, and it was too dangerous because it would get too fucking hot, and I couldn't attach it to anything. Like, my man's got multiple. These lights are expensive. They're not fucking cheap, and he's not using them. His lighting should be so good. Like, look at Fincher. You can shoot people in the dark. You can shoot people in the dark and make it look like it's still dark while still letting you see what you need to see. You put lights on the ground. You put them out of frame. You use snoots. That's the whole thing. You put little, it's like basically you make like little lasers. You put blinders on things. There's a lot of different ways to light shit. But my man only has, for some reason, a series of the same sort of lights. He's got just a series of fucking fill lights. If you're going to spend money, I would have a hair light. Like a nice big rack, all right? It goes up like this, boop, 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 and sits over the top of you and just shines light down on the top of the back of your head, which is I'm kind of getting right now because I have a lamp right up here. Look, you see? Okay, look. Yeah, look at my fucking bicep right now. You see that? That's a hair light, all right? See how it's shining against? If I just flex it, it actually looks big. Do you see how this is shining or standing out against this black back here? And when I put my arm down, like all of this right here, you see how that's it? It's just because the way that I placed myself in my room, I just put better light bulbs in an already existing fixture. It shines down on me and creates subtle highlights. Now, I don't have it really in control so that I can focus on it, but all of this stands out even more from the background, even when it's the same color. You see how the top of my chair stands off of that? Because I just have better light. If I turn off one of the lights in here, it looks like shit. You just fill the whole place with light. I'm just flooding, like literally doing like fill floods. And having good. So I have like a standout. My man has somehow fucked up the lighting in his actual office worse than if he would have just shot it. Just, if you're going to spend that much fucking money, like how many goddamn, he's got a whole boom mic. Why? Why do you need the whole fucking shotgun on a fucking boom? Like, what the fuck? What is it? What does it do?
Me, when I'm feeling like a failure, I think to myself, okay, fine. Let's imagine everything fell apart. YouTube deleted my channels and I have no way to make money the way I do now. As long as I have my health, my wife, and my daughter, everything else can be fixed. I've worked other jobs before. I can do it again. Bad times show you what really matters. And most of the time, it boils down to just existing and being with the people you care about. When we think about failure, we need to cultivate a healthy mindset. We tend to think of failure as a single, permanent thing, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Humans love to compartmentalize, but if you take the long view, failures are just little speed bumps over the course of a lifetime. Think back to something that seemed like the end of the world when you were...
How does he have that many lights? How does he have that many fucking lights? Okay, so I've counted, I know that and the other one are different. Okay, so I know I've seen a full umbrella on a stand at the same time I was seeing a light box. So he's got a box, which is box shaped. He's got an umbrella, which is umbrella shaped. And then he's got that pad light, which is probably like a soft fill. And I think I saw one other one. So he's got like 3 lights in here. Which, I mean, okay, like 3 light setup, whatever. But the thing is if you're you need the big 3 lights for shit like modeling and stuff, where you're going to have like a whole human body. Like if I wanted to take a picture of like an athlete, like imagine like a female athlete, like a gymnast, and she's going to stand on an infinity wall. That's when that white goes all the way back up like that. She's standing on an infinity wall set, and she's going to do handstands and backflips and splits, right? I want to have the full 3 so she can move around inside the modeling space and I can move around her and get the best pictures. If I'm going to have somebody come in like a big dress or like a lot of like a couple or a pair or a set of people, like, yeah, big 3 light setup. Fuck yeah, using the whole infinity wall makes sense. Dude, if you're fucking sitting down, you know what my fill light is? This is my key. You know what my fill light is here? I turned the fucking recorder on here at my big parallel thing. I just turned it to white mode and turned it up. My fill light on this side of my face, other than this one, is just I turned up my monitor. The monitor's just lighting me. Don't think, by the way, that if you want to look good, you have to spend all your money on that. This shit is for... He is trying to shoot the easiest thing. Chest up, talking head is the easiest thing to shoot. It's the easiest thing to shoot, bar none. And most of those boxes and stuff, if you're fucking poor, you can build them. As a matter of fact, a lot of pro photographers suggest that you try to, because the costs are just insanely high. And sometimes you can kind of fit them to the job that you have. So if you travel out, you can build yourself a fucking better softbox or a better light box or whatever than anything else. It's like literally cardboard and fucking clothes hanger. And you can put it together. You saw the light bulb he was screwing in there? That's just an oversized fucking halogen light bulb. That's it. That's fucking it. That's all that it is. It's just crazy. Did Somerton buy too much camera equipment? Oh my God, yes. Somerton buying anything more expensive than a Logitech camera was too much camera equipment. Like, it's psychotic.
For a kid. Doesn't seem so bad today, does it? The benefit of hindsight will do a lot of heavy lifting. But there's no denying it. Sometimes the right now can suck. The most productive mindset we can have is one of resilience and determination. Our goal should be to build the best life we can for ourselves and our loved ones while realizing that we're not in control of everything. The world is a chaotic, unpredictable place, and trying to insulate yourself from challenges and failures is pretty much impossible. Let's try another story. Once upon a time, there was a spoiled kid from the suburbs who was just clever enough not to have to try very hard in school. He got a scholarship to a little private university and shipped off to another state, where he quickly realized that there was no one to force him to do his homework or even show up to class.
Bro,
that semester, he earned...
Did you have... Hold up. Is this him?
Once upon a time, there was a spoiled...
That's a fucking white-ass fucking family. What's that? Where did his hair come from? Who is this white child? This fucking Mormon boy? Like, is Second Thought trying to pull some Ariana Grande shit? Am I cracked? What in the fuck is going on here?
Kid from the suburbs who was just clever enough not to have to try very hard in school. He got a scholarship to a little private university and shipped off to another state, where he quickly realized that there was no one to force him to do his homework or even show up to class. That semester, he earned a 1.67 GPA. He lost his scholarship and he was at risk of getting kicked out. How's that for a failure? Kid starts out with a great trajectory and finds himself on the precipice of
that kid became Karl Marx.
completely wrecking it. One more bad grade would have sealed the deal. So what does he do? He doesn't wallow, he has some hard conversations, fixes his perspective, and ends up graduating on time with good grades 3 years later. At the time, that crushing fear of screwing up...
Where does this Jerry curl ass haircut and this fucking talcum X complexion come from? Hand to fucking God, I thought fucking Second Thought was like mixed. My man is... Am I crazy? Am I fucking where? What? I mean, I guess he had shorter hair and stuff. Was he dyeing it? He can't be dyeing it now. I mean, maybe it just got darker with age, but like that, who the fuck was that other guy? Or were we just talking about someone else? Because you showed me a Mormon. Like Inbred for greatness. What in the fuck? What is going on here? This is that Sean, what's his name? He's got that. What in the fuck is going on here? Yeah, I didn't buy, as you can see from the screen, I didn't buy a fucking light box for my bunny. I just covered the inside of a cardboard Doritos box with fucking the inside of a dog food bag so it would reflect white light.
Spiral sometimes, but that's just part of being human. I'm able to acknowledge the feeling, let it simmer for a bit, then let it go and figure out a path forward. It doesn't have to be the ideal path forward. You don't have to be certain it's the right one. You just need to keep moving and see where your story takes you. Eventually, after what is hopefully a long and fulfilling life.
Ian Sanavi should go to a sales job survivor group. I quit my sales job too real quick, and it wasn't because it was too hard. It was because it paid like shit. I was like, okay, I'm getting the draw and I'm never paying y'all back. What in the fuck? What is this? What is this picture? Sean King, thank you, Sisfit. Yes, accurately. There's something about this. My man looks like he's trying to fucking rob Jack Harlo of something. This is a Jack Harlo Skinwalker. I say that as a resident of Kentucky. This is a Jack Harlo Skinwalker. Be afraid.
Of your life story.
Bro, that's crazy. Male privilege, white male privilege is not having to use the bog standard fucking ukulele song when you're talking about how your life's about to get a little bit better. Bing ding bing ding bing 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 bing. I don't know at what point of that I was supposed to just be like, I'm on your side, bro. What happened there? I feel shocked. I feel confused. I feel strange about what the I thought it would be a little bit more of a cope stream like Shadiversity. All I saw was a guy with a fully kitted out office and a decided lack of creative finesse. I don't know. Like it's like I don't think he knows almost anything about photography. Like he strikes me as a guy that would collect like Zeiss lenses. You know what I mean? I'm even saying that right. And like, you know, full like large frame, full format cameras and stuff, and like maybe like tell you about one time like a photographer that went out and took pictures of it, but he's never like really used it because it's almost impossible to develop. It seems like less than a hobby. It seems like an aesthetic. Aesthetic is definitely the core of it. I would say that. I think that he is a highly aesthetics focused person, which is very common for the rich because they don't exist like the rest of us do. They're not real. You know, they have never like risked breaking a finger at work kind of thing. And it just something about it just screams a lack of actual daring do. Because if the one, I mean, imagine making a like, hey, I've gotten through this before, and the time I got through it before was after a pampered life of private school. I went to college that ostensibly more than likely my parents paid for, because no scholarship kid gets a 1.6 GPA as a freshman. But I had my freshman slump that all spoiled kids have, where they treat like college like high school. And instead of dropping out, I finished college like everyone else that went to the college with me. Like, it wasn't hard. I just met the bar. I didn't overcome adversity. I just did the work. Is crazy. Like, that's a wild thing to say. That's a crazy thing to say. Like one of my most impressive stories, and I like it because it was just cool. And it unironically, it's more point to the guy because it wasn't that hard for me because I'm kind of big. When I was in the Crucible at the Marine Corps, right? It's the last walk back. You have to walk back. It's a hike, right? They call it a hump. Yeah. One of the guys I was with broke his fucking ankle. He broke it, because there's giant acorns. If you've never been to Camp Lejeune, or not Camp Lejeune, Paris Island, I can't really explain it to you, but there's giant fucking acorns. And he's not acorns, pine cones. And he stepped on one and rolled his ankle and broke it. Like he had a fucking actual fissure in his ankle. He had to stay at Paris Island after he graduated to do fucking medical rehabilitation. But it was the last thing he had to do. All he had to literally do was get back off this hump. And he walked on that fucking broken ankle for like 2 miles. Because if he would have said anything, he wouldn't have graduated. They would have taken him out. They would have given him a medical discharge. And then he would have had to do the entire fucking Crucible again after. Which most people would be like, no. But he was just like cussing and spitting and crying and like falling. And I was like, all right. So I just fucking grabbed him under his arm. And we fucking walked those last like 2 miles together. 2 fucking dildos strapped together, fucking walked across. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, you have not heard somebody in pain until you've heard pain like that before. He was walking on a broken ankle. Like, I'm not kidding. He was walking on a broken ankle. I was his crutch for every other step. We couldn't get more comfortable either. Because he knew the second he stepped out, they'd be like, all right, you're pulled because you can't walk on a broken ankle. We fucking dragged his ass. And he's pale red, like white all across here. The rest of him swollen. He's in so much pain, his skin's starting to swell up. He's a skinny guy. Full sweat. In addition to this is hard because we just stayed out in the field for a week and like not eating a lot. And like we're wearing like packs and shit. And he's can't make a lot of noise, can't scream and shout. Because the fucking DI will see him like, what are you doing? Get out. You're going to die. So he just gutted walking on a broken ankle for 2 miles just so he didn't have to do the Crucible again. That's hardcore as fuck. You got to give it to him. No matter what he goes through for the rest of his life. I carried him, sort of, but I didn't carry him. You know what I mean? I didn't fireman him or throw him on my back. I side carried him. Walking carry. So I just supported him a little bit, and he fucking did it. Just fucking like that for 2 hours. My man was at 1 HP, like literally. That's what overcoming adversity sounds like to me, and I've got crazier stories. And like it doesn't even have to be something like military and cool. You just know people like what happened, like damn. Like that woman just went through a divorce while she was pregnant. And fucking had her kid and raised her kid till he was 18. And she didn't fucking complain about it in front of that child once. Like, that's a bad fucking bitch. That's a hardcore woman. Hell fucking, yeah, goddamn. You know what I mean? Like, that's what, like when you're working class, overcoming adversity is shit you do on the way to get gas in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, shout out everybody who got up for work this Monday. Like, you got up for work today, and instead of just going and blowing your brains out, you went and fucking, like, got to McDonald's and went to your factory job. Shout out you. It was hard, I know. You were just like, damn, I could just go jump off a fucking bridge, but you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to go work at the mailroom at a law firm. I want to die. I'm not even a lawyer. I just work there. Not going to do it, though. I'm sticking through it. Like, that's the shit, bro. Dude, the guys outside, it's hot. I'm in the air conditioning. I worked my ass off to get out of the fucking sun, because I'll tell you what, I've had some summers out there. I've been in the sun in Iraq. It's kind of incomparable. In a flak jacket and a helmet. Rough day. But they were out there they digging their big ass hole, putting the fucking pipes in, fucking smelling that hot ass, stinky ass fucking pipe glue in the middle of the summer. Bad motherfuckers. That's just hard as fuck to do. That's most people that'll put you down for a week. Those guys that's Monday. You know what I mean? This man said, well, I went to college and I didn't try very hard. And then they told me I wasn't going to graduate and I tried a little harder. Congratulations. My man said, you don't know how hard it is to raise a daughter with your wife. That motherfucker's out here like, you have a wife. Here's the thing, like, you can vent about hard times. And if you're a rich guy, you can vent about hard times to rich people. Like it fucking, I don't know. I guess it's got to be rough when, you know, like one of your fucking tenants decides to like set your car on fire instead of paying their rent. I can't commiserate with you on that. I'm on his side. But like, you got to go complain to like rich people. The second thought is tries to say he's like a socialist. You know, like a socialist. Like my man is talking about, he's like invoking the name of like dead black heroes. You know what I'm saying? Like casually as fuck. The one I turned on to try to remember what his fucking name was, he starts off with a Martin Luther King Jr. quote. So like the world he's trying to fuck around in and like put off the aesthetics of is that world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the fuck it was like for Martin Luther King Jr. to march at Selma. That shit's crazy to me. Psychotic. But, like, I get why you did it, and, like, I support that 100%. Like, I won't try to fucking jump on that at all. But I feel like if I describe my life to Martin Luther King Jr., he'd probably be like, all right, yeah, well, it is what it is. No, you had a lot of blessings. And I'll be like, I had a lot of blessings, sir. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. You know what I mean? But like, my man sees all of these people and he's like taking their stories and making money off of it. Like, my man turned MLK into some cash. I'm technically doing it too right now. But like, he sat in that studio and like put together, like he wrote his little words down on his tiny notebook, getting frustrated, throwing a little. I feel like Drake writes his raps in a tiny little notebook like that and gets frustrated. Drake the kind of dude to get frustrated and ball a piece of paper up out of a notebook and throw it. Oh, but like to do all that and talk about all that shit, you know what I mean? Like, we need to be like the revolutionaries of yesteryear. When are we going to get together and start fighting the fight that matters? And it's like, bro, you can't say all that shit and then put out your like, I'm a literal surfer boy fucking in college where you partially somehow race mutate by the end of your own tragic backstory into a slightly darker looking person. I don't know how you do it. It's so crazy to me, dude. The Ariana Grande story. I don't trust him to say. I don't trust him to be saying he's not even doing like good right now. I don't know what good is for him. I cannot comprehend what good or bad is in that. 'Cause first, there's no world where I went to college and my parents paid for it. Like, if I hadn't fucking walked around with a gun in my hand, my dumb ass should be working at a fucking gas station for real. Like, I would just the easiest. Not the easiest, the worst job on earth, which is third shift gas station attendant, because nobody wants to do it, and it requires next to nothing but being able to clean the worst toilets that have ever existed. It's just the worst possible job I can imagine. Fucking getting robbed. Nobody wants that fucking job. Nobody has ever been like, I want to be a third shift gas station attendant. Even the second shift gas station attendant looks down on you. That's where I would have been. I know it. I know that was my career trajectory because I talk back and I'm too smart for my own good. I would have ended up there. So I was like, all right, I'll go to the fucking military. Some of myself. Maybe I'll fucking die. I don't know. I just don't want to work at a GameStop and I don't want to fuck that up and work at a gas station. Just like, well, my parents demanded I go to college. I know it was an opportunity, but sometimes, life gets in the way. And I was having a fun, being a little party guy. I had my skateboard and I would go around with my friends. I got all his teeth and shit. Just like 30 ain't never been punched. Like, that's crazy to me. He's literally a character from the menu. Perfect. Shut the fuck up. Perfect. Thank you. Pinned comment. Michael Brown. Can I give you any sort of other awards? Tremendous. Yes. He is a fucking character. Like, unironically. It's everything. He is the last table. Him and Kaya Rychik would be the fucking last table at the menu for fucking like socialist agitprop was one of the couplets that they let in for that restaurant. That's where they would be sitting.